Hopefully it'll hold together. All right, we're recording again. Hopefully we're going. So Karen, fill me in. What you got?
I just asked everybody if they had any questions, and some questions started coming in. We've got some answers. If you want to go through those, or if you want to go ahead and jump into what you wanted to talk about tonight, either one's fine.
Gotcha. Perfect. Yes, and thank you for covering for me here. Looks like you already took care of the Instagram thing and the networker, the pre-register for Diamond University. I don't know where that came from. I've heard a couple people ask me that today. I haven't seen anything on a pre-register. I don't know if somebody mentioned it or it was in a chat session or something, but I just know that we're showing up at the event and your name is on a list. You should have gotten something from PayPal or for a receipt perspective, but you don't need to show up with anything. Your name should be there. Just make sure you have a way of proving that in case your name doesn't show up on the list and then you got to chat with somebody. But other than that, I haven't heard any issues with them having any problems with the pay or getting registered. In fact, it's gone extremely well is what I've been hearing. So I think you're just going to need to show up and be good to go after that. All right. I think that gets us caught up on questions. Any other questions? Yes, Karen.
Casey, some folks may have gotten confused because on the ILA, we do have to register by the end of the month for the hotel, and that there may have been some wires crossed on that event that people will need to take care of by the end of the month.
Yep, that's a good point. And just for clarity, because this is a group for brand new people, and then I know when you come in, it's like, oh my gosh, there's so much going on. What do I need to do? Especially with the events. You got to make it to the events. That's where the magic's at. You got to get to those things. But the one that everybody's talking about is Diamond University. That's going to be wrapping up this weekend for North America. There's going to be one more in France. So if you know anybody or have team members there, make sure they know about that in France and make sure you get everybody to that event as well. And then after that, the next big event is going to be ILA, which stands for International Leadership Academy. And that is a very, very powerful, that is one of the biggest events that Kayani puts on. This year, it's going to be in Fort Worth, Texas. And with there being a lot of folks I know specifically on my team and a lot of folks that are dialed in, over half of the folks are in the Texas area. So it's not too far away from that perspective. And I know a lot of folks here coming from Canada. We got some folks coming from the East Coast, folks from the West Coast. So get there. There's people coming from Australia. Okay, so nobody tell me that that's too far. They got trouble getting off of work or anything like that. It's a matter of resourcefulness. It's not a matter of resources. So make sure you get to those and make sure you get to that event. And the first thing that people say, well, I don't have any time. I can't get off of work. My kids got soccer, this, that, and the other. Hey, I get it. But here's a good phrase for you to remember, and I'm a big fan of, it's God first, family second, Kayani third. That's the order that I keep everything in. But I also don't let my reasons why, 1, 2, and 3, become my reasons why not. So there will be a sacrifice made in this, make no mistake about it. But anything huge, impactful, and long-lasting always requires a sacrifice on some level. And when you're sacrificing for others, that is a very powerful thing. It's a very powerful thing. So yes, there is a sacrifice. Is there a cost to that? Yes, there is. This is business. It's plain and simple. You are investing in the business of you. Okay, you're not investing in equipment. You're not investing in a store location. You're not investing in vehicles. They're paying for your vehicle. Okay, so make sure you understand that there will be some costs in business. But the cost for this business compared to the amount of money that you're going to make it's not even the realm of being, it's so cheap from the investment and from what you're going to get out of it. And I tell this to everybody, and I'll say it on this group too. If anybody goes to Diamond University or they go to ILA and they feel when they get there that it wasn't worth it and they didn't get their money's worth, I want you to come up to me personally. I want you to look me in the eye, and I want you to tell me I got nothing out of this. And then at that point, I'm going to hand you cash dollars for your ticket. Okay? That's my personal guarantee to everybody, and there's a lot of people here not on my team. I don't care. I'm telling you it's that big of a deal. If you go to that and it doesn't blow your mind, you come up to me afterwards, say, I cannot believe you told me to do this. This was a complete waste. I shouldn't have done this. I will refund you the price of your admission to that event. That's how big of a deal it is. So please, please hear me as the guy that's saying that. Definitely get yourself to the event. Okay, a couple more questions popped up. All right. Will there be more Diamond University events this year? No, ma'am. That's going to be the last one. So as far as I've heard, I don't know of any, this batch of them for sure. I don't know if they'll do it again afterwards. We'll see. They'll reset and see what they're going to do, but I'm not expecting it. I haven't heard anything that they will have any more of those. So make sure you get to that. Okay. And as usual, interrupt me. If you got any questions or anything that pops in the head, let me know. I'm looking around, see if anybody's waving at me frantically. Okay, very good. Okay, good. So let's get into what I wrote down, and I wrote it where I could read it this time. So first thing I want to do is I want to talk about ranks tonight. I want to talk about some for all of our analytical people, this is going to be the night that you've been waiting for. You're just going to love this, all right? Now, for everybody else that hates numbers, I still want you to stick around and I want you to tune in. There will not be a test at the end of this, so don't worry, okay? I want you to start getting a feel for what it takes to be able to get through the compensation plan so that you can start understanding a little bit on how this stuff starts working. Now, you've heard me say it multiple times. Just take the check, take it to the bank, and cash it, okay? You don't have to know where all the money comes from, but you want to start understanding that. This is your business. I want you guys to start increasing those skills and starting to understand things. If you don't get this, it's going to have to wash over you multiple times, okay? Some of you, tonight's going to be the night that it all clicks. Some of you are going to look at this and say, I don't have a clue what that was all about. I think I got a little part of it, then mission accomplished. I want it to wash over you so you start getting a feel for what it is that we're doing and how this thing's built and how some of these numbers work and how you get different places. So that's what I'm going to chat a little bit about tonight. So I restarted my machine. I had this all set up, so give me a second to reopen it. All right, and share this, and we should be in business. All right, Karen, give me a thumbs up if you can see my white screen. Cool. All right, thank you. So we're going to talk about what it takes to hit the first couple of ranks in the business, okay? So you've heard about Garnet. You've heard about Jade. You heard about Pearl. And you heard about Sapphire. Okay? So what we're going to do is talk about just those 4 ranks, because once you get that figured out, this business is a beautiful, beautiful thing. Okay? So first thing that you want to do is understand that when you're talking about these ranks, you're talking about the all-important QV number. Okay? That stands for qualifying volume. Every single thing that you can possibly get on the Kyani web pages has QV in it. It also has something called CV, it has KV, and it has SV, okay? We're not gonna worry about that tonight. We're gonna talk about QV, okay? But every item that you get, if you get a triangle of health, there's 4 different numbers that are associated to somebody purchasing the triangle of health. If a new distributor comes in your organization, there are 4 numbers that are associated to that new distributor coming into your organization, okay? For ranks, the ranks are determined by the QV number, okay? So that's the first thing. So let's take a couple of simple examples on these numbers. And I'm just going to do it based off of new distributors coming in, okay? We're not going to talk about the customer part in here too much. We're going to make this nice and easy for math purposes so that y'all can get a feel for how this works. And then once you get this, then it's really easy to figure out customers as well. So the first thing to understand is you have a placement tree, okay? So here's you. You're brand new, and let's say that you have sponsored one person, and let's say that you were blessed and somebody placed somebody underneath you from above. I'm just going to make up a very happy path, very nice and simple that happened. So you had one person that you sponsored, Al, and Bob, by the grace of God, showed up in your organization, and you don't know who Bob is, but boy, do you love Bob. And here's why. because everything that Bob does is going to be counted in your organization from a QV perspective. Okay? So let's say that the different ranks, what are the different packages that you can come in at? You can come in at a $399 US, and all this I'm doing is based on US because I don't have these numbers memorized for Canada, but you guys are in Canada. It's real easy to figure out the difference there once you get the idea here. So you can also come in at the $5.99 pack, and you can come in at the $9.99 pack. Okay? Now, when you come in at each one of these packages, there are 4 numbers that come with it. We're only talking about the QV number for tonight. Okay? The QV number that comes with the $3.99 is 200 QV points if somebody comes in at the $3.99, 500 points if somebody comes in at the $5.99, and 750 points if somebody comes in at the $9.99. Okay? So the first thing is we're going to make it nice and easy because most people come in at the $5.99 pack. The second pack that's most popular is the $9.99, and then third is the $3.99. So I'll do a couple of scenarios here in a little bit, but I just wanted to go with the pack that most people pick, and it's easy for math purposes. So let's say that you decided to come in at 500, or the $5.99 pack, so you get 500 points. Okay? So yes, your points count when you're calculating your ranks. Let's say Al came in at the $5.99 as well, and Bob comes in at the $5.99 as well. Okay? Let me write that elsewhere. Put that over here for Bob. Okay. So when that's there, what I want to do first is I want to talk about how do you calculate your numbers. When you look at the numbers, if you look in your back office and you go in and you look at your rank status, okay, that's one of the reports that you can do. And when you look at your rank status, it's going to give you a couple of different numbers, okay? The first one's going to talk about your own personal values, okay, which is talking about you and any customers that you've personally gotten. And then it's going to talk about a couple of different numbers that we use for your rank status, specifically what your total group volume is. It's going to talk about your volume outside your largest leg. And then it's going to talk about your volume outside of your 2 largest legs. Okay? So when you get those are the 3 numbers that we talk about. If you're tracking your numbers on your spreadsheet, you're used to tracking these numbers. These are the numbers that you're taking a look at. Okay? The way that you figure out your group volume is you look at all of your organization. Okay? Now you hear us talk about 3 legs. In this case, you only have 2 legs. Your third one is empty. Okay? And that's how it is for quite a few people, especially if you're brand new or just getting started or you've just been in for a little bit. That's kind of what you're going to be seeing is you might have 1 or 2, but you don't have anybody in that third leg, completely fine. So if you were to calculate this, if you looked at this as leg A, leg B, and leg C, when you're looking at your group volume, the values are going to be A plus B plus C. Now, you guys thought you'd never use algebra again, but here I go putting letters in here for doing calculations. So if you look at A, B, and C, and you look at what you have up here at the top as well, that gets factored in. What happens is you're going to have 1,500 for your total group volume in this example here with Al, Bob, and you. Outside your largest leg, now what does that mean? That means one of these is going to be considered your power leg, the one that has the most volume going through it. And if you look at that, it's a tie between leg A and leg B. They both have 500, okay? So pick one, we're going to call, and the computer will just pick one. It doesn't matter. One of them is going to be, we'll say A is your power leg and B is your weak leg. It's identical. But for purposes of this, if you look outside your largest leg, you're going to look at leg B, okay? If you look at leg C, so what this is B plus C. Now, something interesting that they do when they're calculating your leg volumes is they take your personal volume, in this case 500, and they add it to your weakest leg. And we're going to call Bob leg B here our weakest leg. So if you add that up, you're going to have 1,000 here. Okay. Now, if you look outside your largest two legs, that's A and B. If you look at C, you don't have anything in C. So that's a 0. Okay. So if you were to look at your two numbers, you would have 1,000-0. Okay. That's how you would read this. That's how you would calculate that. You don't have to calculate any of this. It's being done for you. It's in your back office. Okay. So it's done for you. But this is where the theory is coming from. Okay. Now, if you look at Garnet, what's the requirement to hit Garnet? To hit Garnet, you need, we'll redraw these over here. You need to have 1,000 total. You need to have 400 outside your largest leg, and you don't need a third leg. To hit Jade, you need 2,000 total. You need 800 outside your largest leg, and you don't need any in your third leg. Now, if you had volume in your third leg, it's a good thing. It counts for you. Okay, we'll talk about that in a couple of examples here in a second. Pearl, you need 5,000 total, and you need 2,000 of it outside of your largest leg. Sapphire, you need 10,000 total. You need 4,000 outside your largest leg, and you have to have a third leg for the first time, and it's got to have at least 500 in it. So if we look at this example with Al, Bob, and you, would you be a Garnet at this time? Yes, you would. Why? Because you have at least 1,000 in your total volume, check mark, and you need at least 400 outside your largest leg, check mark, and that's all the requirements are, so you've made it to Garnet. Now let's go up and let's see if we made Jade in the same thing. You got to have 2,000 total in your organization, no check mark. You got to have 800 outside your largest leg, check mark. So you're just lacking one thing. You're lacking 500 points of QV somewhere in your organization. Now, because of where the check marks are and where the X's are, you can put another person anywhere in your organization. If you put it in column C, notice that your group volume is A plus B plus C. You put 500 over there, boom, you got your 2,000. Okay? So it doesn't matter if you put it in A or B or C, that's going to go towards the number that was missing, which was your total group volume. Once you get that, check mark. And you already had a check mark here. Okay? So you are a Garnet and you are one away, one person coming on board at the $5.99 package from being Jade. Now you remember when we talk about it, if you come in at the middle package and you help 3 other people get started in this, about that will get you to Jade. That's how we talk about it in the presentations all the time. Also, if you sponsor 3 people, let's say you sponsored Al, you sponsored Bob, and you sponsored Chuck over here. If you do that, you're going, and you get 3 customers, you're going to get the power play. So that's why we tell you, on your way to hitting Jade, you will most likely hit the power play also, which is 3 distributors, 3 business partners, and 3 customers. Okay? Now, those customers are going to count towards volume 2, but like I mentioned, we're going to keep this nice and simple and just talk about distributors right now. This is the easiest way to figure out what this thing takes. And then your customers are bonus on top of that, and they help kick you over. Okay? All right. If anybody doesn't get that, please speak up now. Any questions on that whatsoever? Cool. Okay. Let's kick it up a notch. Let's draw out. There's you. You get Al. You get Bob. And you get Chuck. Let's say Al comes in at $5.99. Let's say that Bob comes in at $3.99. Let's say that Chuck comes in at $3.99. And let's say you came in at the $9.99 package because you listened to your friends and they didn't let you come in for the cheap package. What rank are you? Let's figure it out. So first thing is, let's figure out how many points you get. So 750 points there, 200 points there, 200 points there, 500 points there. What is that? So that's 5, 9, 1650 total. So the best that you can be is a garnet, and we're not even sure about that yet until we do the second calculation. Okay? But Casey, I got 3 people that came in. Yeah, but they came in at the small packages. But yeah, I had somebody come into the big package. Yeah, but see, the problem is you only get 200 points for that little package. And you also don't get a whole lot of product. You're only getting a 27% discount off of the price of the product. You only saved yourself $151 by coming in at the $3.99 package. If you would have came in at the $5.99 package, you'd save $250. You would get 30% off the price, and you would have 500 points of volume to be able to get started and get rolling. That's why we don't want people to come in on the lower rate. Not for us hitting ranks. It's for them to be able to hit ranks. Because this guy, Bob right here, that came in and has only got 200 points, and Bob comes down here and Bob gets a couple people and they come in at 500 each because they did the $5.99 packages. Bob's only got 1,700 points. If Bob would have came in at the $5.99 package, spent another $200, Bob would have made it to Jade already. That's why we don't let Bob do stupid things when Bob doesn't know any difference. It's up to us to stand up for Bob and let Bob know that we're doing it for them. Do you get a benefit out of that? Of course you do. You get a benefit out of all of this when you do this because you join Kyani. Everything that happens after that, it's about the next guy. You want to give them the opportunity to come in and crush this thing. You don't want to hamstring them from being able to hit ranks. When people get a check, this business gets real. When it gets real, people go out there and they start impacting more lives. They go, this is awesome. You don't want them coming in for literally a $200 difference if I'm negotiating a real estate deal, do I care one iota if it's $200 cheaper, if it's $159,000, $437, and I wanted it, that's what the asking price is, and what I told them I was willing to do was that right there. Do I walk from that deal for $200? No. It's a matter of putting this into perspective on what we're dealing with here. And I'm also telling you that you can make that in 1 month in this business, this amount of money in this business. I have people in this business. I've seen the checks myself. I work with them directly. I have people over here fighting over a $200 thing. And we're talking about this amount of money per month at risk here. So it's crazy. Anyway, I didn't mean to get off on a rant there. Sound like Dennis Miller. All right. Some of y'all don't even know who Dennis Miller is. That means I'm getting old. Okay. So 1650. That's how much you have total because we've got 500 points, 200 points, 200 points, and 750 points. Okay. Now, how much do you have outside of your largest leg? Al's leg is the largest leg because it's got 500 points in it. Outside of your largest leg, you've got 200, 200, and don't forget your personal volume goes to your weakest leg. So we're going to call this our weakest leg. So when we add that all up, our second number is 1150. Okay. And our third number is our weakest leg, which we're just going to pick column C over here. And don't forget, your volume goes to the weakest leg. And so you got 950 at that point. Okay? So what rank are you? So 1,400 in the second number, you are a garnet. So you're a garnet. Because if I look at jade, you need 2,000 and 1,000, and then you would have been there, but you don't have that. You're lacking 450 points. Okay? So you're a garnet. We got a question. Come on, computer. Good question. So when Bob gets blessed into your organization, who talks to Bob? Well, find out who sponsored him. And you can look in your back office and look at them. If you do a genealogy view report, you can type their name in or see them in there, and you click on it and it'll show who their sponsor is. So you can figure that out. And then ideally, the sponsor is the one that is working with that person. The sponsor is the one that's working with that person. Or it's going to be you with them underneath. But work that out with the person that sponsored them and figure it out from there. If you just got started in the business and somebody put somebody underneath you, chances are they're not expecting you to be able to handle that. If you've been in for a while and you're blowing it up, you've got a couple ranks underneath you, grab them and start working with them. Either way, they're going to help you. I just don't want you to think at that point, oh my goodness, I got another mouth to feed here. No, no, no. They are helping out tremendously by being in your organization. Good question, Sarah. Okay, so let's talk about another example. So here's you. Let's say that we go out. Let's say that you only get 3 people. Okay? Al, Bob, and Chuck. And let's say that you decided, you know what? I'm not going to listen to all that. I'm just going to come in and get into this thing for $3.99. And let's say that you tell everybody that comes in to take a look at this, hey, don't worry about that middle package or that huge package. Save your money. Go ahead and just get this one. It's not that big of a difference. Yeah, you get less product. Who cares? No big deal. And you tell all your people that. And so they say, well, heck yeah, if I just come in for $3.99, I'm going to do that. And so let's say that happens. And let's say that becomes part of your culture. And so you got Al, Bob, and Chuck. And then Al goes out and Al does the same thing. And he calls all his friends on his list. And he tells them, hey, man, all you need is $3.99. Let's get in this thing. Let's go. And then he talks to David and Ed and Frank. And then Bob talks to Gene, talks to Henry, and talks to Israel. And then Chuck goes over here and talks to Joe and to Kevin and to Larry. And all of them come in at the $3.99 also. Here's what your organization would be from a point perspective. You have 1, 2, 3, 9, 12, 13 total in your organization. That's what your numbers would be. You'd be a jade. You have 13 people in your organization and you're a jade. Okay? That would be frustrating, wouldn't it? Business is blowing up. Everybody's duplicating. But they all decided they were going to come in for $3.99. And they don't have a whole lot of product. So they're not going to be able to share it with a whole lot of people. It's going to run through their hands like water. They can follow everything else perfectly. They're making money. They're making progress. They're getting there. But they are working themselves to death. Let's say that everybody instead came in as a culture of understanding that $5.99 makes a whole lot more sense. $200 more to get your business started and get started on the right foot because you're going to get $850 worth of product. You're getting it at a 30% discount. You're going to save $251 off of the cost of what you can get this, the best that you could possibly get this. If you did that, here's what your numbers would look like. You're a pearl in the business. Why are you a pearl? Because pearl is 5,000 2,000, and 0. Check mark on all of those. And here's an interesting little fact here. You only need the folks over here in this leg, in one of these legs, anywhere actually. You only need about 5 or 6 more people, and you are a sapphire, because you've already got a check mark here for the sapphire and here for the sapphire. You need 4,000 total in that number, and you need 500 in that number. You've already got check marks there. At 500, you need David there to go get 3. You need George here to go get 3, and you need Joe to go get 1, and you're a sapphire. 7 more people. So half the people that have already joined, you need them to go get 1 more person. If you do that, you're a sapphire. Okay. Now, what if everybody comes in at the $9.99 package? Same organization. You're 250 away from sapphire. And chances are somebody out of those 13 people went and got about a customer every once in a while. You need like 3 or 4 customers, 3 customers in this entire organization. Of these 13 people, all 13 together, hopefully they generated 3 customers. Some of you got 3 customers your first day. If you do that, you're a sapphire. So it's the difference between being a jade, a pearl, or a sapphire. It's the difference of making $298 a month on average, $650 a month on average, or $1,561 on average. I hope that sinks in on how big of a deal it is. And that's if you're just looking at it from your own perspective. Please understand the purpose of getting that big package is so that you have as much product as possible. And a lot of folks are going to need to try that product in some form or fashion. So what's going to happen is you're going to go through this. You've got 13 people in this thing. You came in at the $3.99 thing. You ran out of product already, long time ago, in fact, because you don't have as much. But you start seeing people come in. So you're going to go buy more product because you see this thing works. And once you see that this thing works, you're going to go get more product. What are you going to pay? You're going to pay full price. You're not going to be able to get it for 27% off or 30% off or 33% off. You're going to be paying regular price. So that's why I tell people, not only should you come in, you need to get your spouse in, and both of you need to come in at $9.99 and get as much product as possible. Well, Casey, I'm not going to work that other position. I'm just going to work one. That's cool. You want $2,000, actually $3,000, because it's $1,500 a pop. If you got 2 positions at $9.99, you get $3,000 worth of product. Now you got some product that you can hand out, and you can blow this thing up even more. And you're setting a culture that everybody else is going to realize the same thing. They're going to ask you, which package did you come in? Well, I came in at the $3.99, but you should come in at the $9.99. No, you don't want to do that. Now, if you screwed up and you did that, here's what you do. You don't let them. Do not let them. It doesn't matter because I didn't know what I was doing, and I'm hard-headed, and that's not you. So you want them to be able to get the biggest packages they can get. Casey, not everybody has money. Some of y'all have been thinking that. Some of y'all are irritated about me talking about $9.99 so much. That's okay. I want you to understand business. I want you to understand that it's about making a profit. That's the definition of business. You're in pursuit of profit. Okay. Now the other thing that's what's really cool about our business is that we also get impact. And there's not one on top of the other. They are the same thing. Money in this business that you make is because you made impact. Impact in this business means you make money. If you're hung up on money, switch that word out for that one. But I'm telling you, mathematically, it is one and the same thing in this business. And it's about making that impact. And you can make more of an impact if you have more product to be able to hand out to more people for dollars. So do it for the cheapest dollars that you can. That's why I'm so adamant about that. In business, that's what you're looking to be able to do. Now, I don't have money to be able to get started. That's fine. Nobody said you had to use your money to get started. Nowhere, anywhere does it say you got to use your money to be able to get started. In fact, every single business that is worth a business that I can think of, people do not use all of their money to get that business. Here's the concept. If you can go out and you can get a business, okay, there's your business check mark box there. Okay, you got a business. Let's put a little roof on it, and let's say that you got that going on. And you know when a little person walks into this thing, once you get that business, and when that happens, you're going to make X number of dollars. Let's say that you know you're going to make $1,250 when somebody comes in there. Okay. Now you can save up money for 20 years to be able to get the $150,000 down payment that it's going to take. Or you can take a loan for $130,000. And when you do that, you're not going to make any of this $1,250 for 20 years while you're saving up your money to do it. Okay. So no money in 20 years. Or you can come in and you can make a loan for $130,000, putting $20,000 of your own money up there. And when you get done, the cost of this money is going to cost you $1,000 a month. Those are your expenses. When you get done with this, how much money did you make? $250. That's what you profited at that point. You took care of your expenses. This is what you brought in. That's your revenue minus your expenses. You made that much money per month. And then do that for 12 months, and then do that for 20 years and see how much you're going to make. That's the idea. And while you're doing that, you're getting tax advantages off of that right there. So when people say, oh, well, I don't have any money. I've been looking for you for 6 months. Cool, let's go. People have credit cards. They take those credit cards and they go buy TVs with them. And they buy shoes with them. They buy golf clubs with them. And they buy vacations with them. If you got to put your vacation on a credit card, you shouldn't be on vacation. Sorry if that rubs anybody the wrong way. That's just good financial 101. So when people are looking at this, I'm trying to show them how they can increase the money that's coming in. So go find somebody to loan you $600. There's a couple people that I know that most people know. One of them's called Uncle MasterCard. The other one is Aunt Visa. And I'm telling you, if you can get in this business and you can hit, and you just heard the announcements the other day, if you can hit this rank right here, you got $200 coming to you if you can do that in your first 31 days. If you can make it to this rank in your first 31 days, they're going to put another $500 on it. You go pay back Aunt Visa, and you've already made $100. That's the concept that I want people to understand. So when people come to you and say, this looks good, I just ain't got no money. It ain't a money issue. It's a resourcefulness issue. They see obstacles. You have to show them how to get over those obstacles. Because they put dumb things on those credit cards before. And now they got it in their head, oh my goodness, I can't put anything else on my credit card. No, you can't put any more stupid things on your credit card. This is an income bringing asset. That's what you want to be able to explain to them. Okay? So those are numbers that I wanted to share. And how to fund a business. All right. Last little bit, I want to talk about I want to switch gears. Everybody get where I'm coming from on that? Anybody got any questions on that concept before I switch gears? Okay. Next thing I want to talk about is a skill, and it is called edification. Edification is the part where we talk about you got to get good at two skills. You all heard me say that multiple times. The first skill that you got to get good at is inviting. Okay, step one is inviting. And then step two is presenting, which you don't do. Step three is edification. And step four is validation, which you don't do. Step five is enrollment. Step 6 is launch. Step 7 is go to Diamond University and go to ILA. Okay, big events. Here's the ones that you have to get good at. That one and that one. The done for you system takes care of 2, 4, 5, 6, and 7. You don't do that part. So we talked about inviting a whole lot. I want to talk about edification. Edification is the benchmark on how you get somebody. So there's you, there's the prospect, and then there's the proof. Between you and the prospect is trust. A prospect needs to have trust and they have to have proof. If they get those two things, they will most likely join you in business or they will be your customer. They will do something where they put their cash dollars in somebody else's pocket because they see value. If they see value, they have trust, they have proof, they take action. You cannot create proof with the people that you know. A lot of you think you can. A lot of you say, I don't need to get anybody else. I got this. I'm going to tell them everything you said. I'm probably going to do a better job of it than you. You talk funny. So I'm going to tell them all this stuff. And when I do, they're going to jump in because I've known them for 25 years. And then you're going to go talk to them. You're going to explain it all to them. You're going to keep on explaining it. You're going to send them every stick, a shred of information that you've ever found in all of these trainings and YouTube videos and testimonials and all of that. You do all of that stuff and they don't join your business and you get really frustrated. And you go, I don't know what I'm saying wrong. I did it textbook. It was exactly how I was supposed to do it. The problem is you're not supposed to be doing it. You're supposed to invite them. You're supposed to let somebody else do the presentation, and you're supposed to let somebody else do all the other steps. What you have to do next is edify. So when y'all get past the part where you stop throwing up all over them and you follow the system and you pique their interest, and when they have their first question, you go, that's a fantastic question. I have absolutely no idea what the answer is. I need to put you on with my guy. You don't know the name of the company. I'm really not completely 100% sure I'm even pronouncing it right. Let me put you on with the right guy. Casey, how can I not tell them the name of the company that I just spent $599 with? Come up with something. I don't know. But you don't need to tell them that. Well, why do you want to know ask them a question back. Why do you want to know the name of the company? I don't know. It's just something I'm supposed to ask you. That's what conversation does. I'm curious, so I have to ask you stupid questions so that I don't look like an idiot. That's really what's going on in their head, by the way. So I'm going to ask a bunch of obscure questions that don't mean anything. Or they're thinking, I want to be able to get the answer to this question on the name of the company so I can go on Google and I can research it and I can be all smart and tell you why it's not a good idea to do this. That's typically what's going on behind the scenes. So what you do is you knock that all off and you say, look, I'm not really for sure. I got a whole team of guys I'm working on. I saw some video. This made perfect sense. I'm taking the products. I don't know. They make me feel better. It's awesome. That's what the guy did that had me take a look at this thing. I was like, you don't even know the name of the damn company? He said, I'll be honest with you. I can't remember what the name of it is. It starts with a K. It's some Alaskan thing. I don't even remember. Let me put you on with my guy. All right, put me on with your guy. Holy crap. I get put on with Miles Stallard. So what you need to do is you've got trust. You need to stop doing the presentation during your invitation. You need to just invite them. And before the presentation thing even happens, you need to get them on the phone with somebody. You don't need to give them any information. But Casey, they asked. Then ask them a question back on why they're so curious about all this stuff when they haven't even talked to your guy. Tell them, I'm going to do you one better. Instead of sending you on a website or sending you all this or try to explain all this, I'm going to put you on with the guy. This guy is blowing it up. Now, at that point, a lot of people freak out and they don't do a good job about that. That's the edification. They say, well, nobody wants to talk to you. I had somebody tell me that earlier. I'm talking to everybody, but nobody wants to get on the phone with you because you're not making it where they want to get on the phone with me. You're simply going up to them, say, hey, I got this thing I'm excited about. I want to put you on with some guy. Why do I want to talk to him? I don't know. He seems to know what he's talking about. You should talk to him. Nobody's excited about that. Nobody wants to talk to anybody about that. You gotta make this person pretty much walk on water in their eyes. You're not doing this. You're not doing this for the proof's ego whatsoever. You're doing it so that the prospect will actually listen to what the proof is saying. You've got to edify. You got to make it say, look, man, here's the deal. I run across a guy. This guy is leading the expansion in the 4th largest city in the United States of America. He walked from another company where he was in the top 0.1%. 350,000 people. He's in the top 350. He was on the cover of not one, because I don't know how many magazines you're on, but he's on 2 of them. I need you to talk to this guy. Now, if they don't want to talk to me after that, they are not looking for something. They are not money motivated, and they are not the type of people that we're looking for. Be okay with this filtering process, dropping people in the no category. You don't want everybody in your organization. I promise you. Don't try to convince them. Well, Casey, nobody's joining. Good. If you're doing it right, good. If you're doing it wrong, then you're messing up. But if you're following the steps, did you edify? I did. My goodness. And tell me what you said. Boom, 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 boom. Hit every point. Great. Fine. Next. Who's next? Well, but they're not joining. Dude, if that didn't blow their hair back to be able to talk to somebody like that, if somebody comes up to me right now and says, hey, I got a guy, and boom, they list all those things out, I'm going to listen because I'm wired that way. I'm wired to look for opportunities in life. I'm wired to, look, I'll give them 5 minutes. I'll give everybody 5 minutes. If they can blow my hair back in 5 minutes, I'll give them 10 more. If they say, no, I don't want to talk to them, I guarantee you they are broke as all hell. They don't make any money, and they're never going to make any money. They're not going to have any impact. They hate their job. They're going to be stuck in traffic forever. They're never going to do anything fun, never going to do anything impactful. I guarantee you that. And if that's them, try to get them as a customer and at least let them go through life at least healthy. They're going to go through poor, but at least let them go through healthy also. If they won't do that, you cannot fix dumb and unhealthy. You can't do it. It sucks. But filter these people out. Do these 2 steps right. And if they don't jump on after that to at least look, I'm not saying they got to do it, but if they don't at least look, if they don't at least keep their options open and say, I'll give them 5 minutes. If they won't at least do that, then they are brain dead. They are broken mentally. We are not looking for them. You don't want them in your organization because then you're going to have yourself a big old mess. Imagine if somebody like that, try to get them to Power Hour. Think of how hard that is. Okay. So this is a filtering process. Okay. This is not a convincing process. You're looking for the people that see this. You're looking for those 6, those 7s, and those 8s. You're not looking for 2s and you're not looking for 3s on the scale. And here's the other thing that's happening. A lot of you on your list, you're starting off with the easy ones. You're walking in there and going with the easies. You're hitting the 1s and the 2s that you have influence over. You go, oh my God, they need this worse than anybody. They don't have any money. They don't have a clue about how they got to do this. And you build yourself a whole organization of that, and you will have to rebuild your organization. They're 1s and 2s for I'm not trying to be mean here, but you ain't got time to go in there and save the world on trying to bring them up to a level that they get it. You're looking for the people that already get it. You're trying to sort them out. So do the edification part correctly and make it where they want to talk to this person. I've been spitting so much fire on calls. The edification part is going pretty easy for everybody because they're like, dude, you just need to listen to the guy. I mean, give him 5 minutes. Crap, that's all I need you to do. If that doesn't light your fire, man, your wood is wet. That's all there is to it. That's edification. That's getting somebody excited to get on the phone with the proof. If you're not that excited about the person that's the proof person, find another person that's your proof person. Keep going up until you find somebody that can bring that. Okay. Now they don't need to be able to be blowing fireworks and everything crazy to be the proof. They need to be somebody else that can give them the information. But it's important for you to edify them so that they know, look, this dude is a pearl in this organization, man. He's already making more money than most people make in their regular job. That's all true statements. That's getting them excited to get on the phone to listen to somebody. So make sure you do your part. You don't have too many parts to do. You have this one, and we beat that one up pretty good over the last couple of days. And then this one, and that's the one that I want you guys. I had some guy introduce me the other day. He said, hey, this is Casey, and Casey, this is Joseph. I'm sitting there, it's like, oh, well, that's going to be an easy thing to be able to convince this guy that we got good stuff going on. And then I sound like a crazy person because I have to go tell my accolades so that they'll listen to me. And then I sound like I'm, tooting my own horn. I'm not doing it for that. I don't care what this guy thinks about me. I've already done it. I've already got it in the bank. I'm trying to get him to be able to have that in his bank. So you got to do the edification correctly to be able to make sure that the prospect is going to listen correctly. And then what that'll do is that edification, what we do in that step is we inoculate the prospect. A lot of y'all are saying, well, they don't want to talk to anybody, and I've already, they're telling me no. How are they telling you no? You piqued their interest. They said they were interested in fixing whatever it is that they were dealing with, either their wealth side or the health side or the beauty side. So they wanted to fix one of those three things because you asked them a question. They raised their hand and said, yeah, I'm interested. What do you got? And then after that, say, well, they told me no. Well, they didn't just magically right after that tell you no. What did they say no to? They don't even know what this is. Well, I told them a little bit about it. What? Where in here does it say tell them about this stuff? That's not your part. You don't do that. Well, I had to tell them something. No, you didn't. You could say, I don't have time to explain it to you right now. I need to put you on with my guy if you're interested in hearing about this. Well, he didn't want to get on the phone with you. Well, then tough. He doesn't need to be in this business, does he? That's how this works. So many people are used to if somebody asks a question that, I got to give them the answer. No, you've got the golden goose. You got the golden goose. You get the eggs. You get to pick who you give it to. Some of you are going at it where you're begging them to come grab one of these eggs. Nobody's interested when you come beg. Y'all remember when you were in high school? Begging doesn't work when you're asking the other person out. You come from confidence. You come from, look, I got something really freaking special. You might want to take a look at this. You told me the other day you ain't making any money. You want to fix that, or were you just joking around? No, I want to fix it. Cool, I got something you need to do. Thank you, Kate. I appreciate that. So you're the one with the way to fix their problems. Okay? Sort them. Stop trying to convince them. They don't want to follow that. Walk from them. Say, hey, no problem. I can see that you're not really who we're looking for. What do you mean? It's real simple. If you're going to do this business, it's a team effort. I'm not the one that's going to explain it to. Well, can't you tell me something about it? I could, but I'm not going to because I ain't got time. That's why we do this business. We don't have to have time to do it. And you're getting ready to take a whole lot of my time that I don't have. I'm trying to put you on with a guy that's been doing this for almost a decade. I think it'd make a whole lot more sense for you to talk to him. Okay, put me on the phone with him. You've edified it right then and there. They want to get on the phone. And if they don't do that, well, then you don't have to see this. You don't have to hear about it. I'm sure not sending you any information. Because if they can't follow that basic instruction, they sure as heck ain't coachable. And I'm telling you, if they're worth their salt, they'll give you 5 minutes. All right? So that's that topic. And then the last thing is that, and this isn't just for the people that are out there in the world, this is also for some of y'all. So I'm going to have some real talk here for a second. Some of you want this business to blow up. But some of you aren't doing the steps that you need to do. And that's because you're comfortable. Okay? Now, some of it is, hey, Casey, I got started about 14 hours ago, and I'm still figuring this thing out. Okay, this isn't for you than what I'm about to say. But everybody else, it is. And I had one of my mentors tell me this, and I was looking through my notes, and I saw that. I was like, oh, my goodness. And then one of the guys on my team, we were talking, and I remembered it, and I wrote this one down so I could make sure I ended on this one tonight. There's a story of this guy. He was a salesman, and he was going out, and he was out in the, I don't know where he was. He's out in the woods somewhere in, I think it was Kentucky or something. And he's out there and he's selling, I think he was selling apparel or something like that. And he goes into this store, in this outfitting store, and it was like the last stop on a long sales trip that he was on. And he goes in, and there's this old guy, and he's in there, and he's in the store, and he's sitting out on the porch, and I think somebody just walked out. He said bye to him, sat down, and then the sales guy walks up. And he said, nice to meet you. My name's whatever. I'm coming in here. I wanted to, share some information with you about what we got going on. And then about that time, before he could get into it, this hound dog is sitting on the porch, and this hound dog just starts giving it just yelling, going crazy on the porch. And the guy's like, just interrupted him right in the middle of it. He waits and he says, sir, is everything okay with your dog? Oh, yeah. He's fine. Go ahead. Tell me what you're going to tell me. Well, anyway, I was, last leg of my trip here. I wanted to come in here. Oh! And this dog is just giving it hell and on the porch. And the guy's like, sir, what is wrong with your dog? Oh, he's fine. Go ahead, sonny. Do your thing. Well, I'm here to be, oh! He said, sir, what is wrong with your dog? And he goes, oh, he's sitting on a nail. I was like, he's sitting on a nail? Yeah, he's sitting on a nail. He sits there and he howls. Well, why does he get up off the nail? The old man says, because it doesn't hurt bad enough. Some of you guys have been, I don't have no money. Oh! I don't have any time to, oh! But it doesn't hurt bad enough for you to get up off the damn porch and go do something about it. So if that resonates with you, and that ain't going to resonate with everybody, but some of y'all might be able to try that one on and it fits. If that resonates with you, I want to encourage you, listen to yourself, get out there and do it. You got a whole group of people here that's supporting you to be able to get you all the way home on this thing. If you've got an opportunity to make it to Diamond University and you're still deciding, think about that hound dog and decide if that's something that you still want to do or not. Get yourself to that event. Figure it out. Get in the world of possibilities. Stop existing in the world of reason. Get yourself there. And then we're going to help you go all the way with it. But it is up to you. I can train this stuff to you guys, and I will continue to do it for a very long time. But if you don't take any action off of this and you just keep howling, you're just going to be there on that porch. All right? So hopefully you like that story. Hopefully y'all get to use that in your presentations down the road too. We are going to shut it down tonight. We're going to open it up so everybody can say good night. We will be back on Monday. I hope everybody has an amazing Diamond University. I want y'all to come up and say hi to me if you see me. And I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend and get out there and make it happen. All right. Appreciate you guys being on. We'll see you next time.
Thanks, Casey.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.
See everybody this weekend.
See y'all there.